Peace, peace. I just went live on Instagram, but I wanted to share this here on my YouTube channel. It's rare that I go live, that I speak or share my morning reflections, but when they come and they come strong, I like to share them. I have shared for the last several months how much I'm really observing how many people are dealing with deep level emotions that are manifesting as sadness, fear, depression, feeling lost, feeling stuck, feeling shame. That's interesting. The shame is interesting because that doesn't usually come up a lot in sessions, but I'm noticing more and more now that's coming up in a lot of my sessions with clients. And I know I figure what it is, as we have shifted from an earth age to an air age, everything is elevating, things are being revealed, things are coming to surface. It's like the root of the matter is being exposed so much. If you listen to any astrologist, you'll hear them talking about how this is the time of secrets being revealed. This is a time of purge. You hear about this shift into the new earth happening, and it is very real. It's happening in so many different ways. It can be spoken about in so many different ways. But I'm seeing it manifest as these deep level emotions that are causing individuals to really reflect on what's happening in life, what has happened in life, what's brought them to the moment, what's brought them to this moment. And the message this morning, in my reflection, I just wanted to share, be encouraged, as we are in this elevated, space, this elevated energy. Don't forget the value of grounding. Like, come back to earth. Ground often, center yourself often. When you're doing a lot of higher level work, which can show up as majestic, like spiritual work, or it can just show up as deep reflective work. It can show up as dreams. All of that is like elevated type work, or elevated experiences of a higher consciousness, experiences of a higher plane. When you're experiencing those type of things, it's essential to ground, because if not, you can find yourself in these higher spaces almost like in shock or not knowing how to process it. So when you ground yourself, it takes you out of it and it allows whatever it is to be. And that is the space you want to be in. Ground yourself, meaning take the self out. Ground yourself. When we experience grounding, say, you go into outside and you go into nature, you lose yourself. That's grounding. When you put your feet in the ground and your breath starts to slow down and your heart rate starts to slow down, that's grounding. You're losing the self. The self is oftentimes in panic mode. It's in an anxious state. It's in a survival state. It's in a projecting state. And so when you lose yourself, when you lose the self, you ground yourself, you center yourself, you come to a 0 point. That's what I want to encourage you to stay at. In the 0 point, you can experience earth-shaking, ground-breaking revelations that could cause you shame, because you can look and go, how in the world did I think that? How in the world did I do that? How in the world did I find myself in a situation? How in the world did I feel like that was right? How in the world? You can feel that. But The revelations are not for you to be shamed. Take yourself out of it. The revelation is so you can see something, so you can continue to go forward, or so you can continue to grow. When you're in an elevated state, when you are being drawn to listen to spirit, to pray, to affirm, to ground, to meditate, so many people are being drawn to do these things. When you're being drawn to do that, things will come to surface. And as it's meant for them to come to surface. And so in order for you to experience this necessary purge, or these necessary revelations, these necessary healings, these necessary spurts of growth, some of it is not so heavy. It's light. It's like, whoa, you're experiencing a whirlwind of success, a whirlwind of breakthroughs, a whirlwind. You also don't want to get too caught up in that, in the emotions of excitement and you know, instant success, or like these big breakthroughs. Because if you find yourself tipping over even into that end, when it don't feel so exciting, you could find yourself struggling to be grateful in moments when it don't feel like that. Finding yourself forgetting, you know, that you're blessed, highly favored, that everything is in seasons and cycles. And so you want to stay at the 0 point. That's the message here. It's like ground, center, bring yourself, you know, to the middle, you know, bring yourself to the 0 point, ground. You can ground, and more so I'm speaking of grounding internally. This is an internal grounding that I'm talking about, more than it is physical. Yes, I'm a fan of, like, you know, going into nature, grounding, taking your shoes off, taking your socks off, putting your bare feet on the ground, hugging a tree, you know, communing with butterflies and bees. I'm a fan of that. You know, I advocate for it. But there's an inner grounding that happens when you sit in silence often, when you breathe deeply often, when you meditate, when you pray, when you sit inside, just be quiet, right? It removes the self and brings you to a center point, a 0 point. And so that's the message, you know, allow, you know, it is a great shift happening. It is happening. It is happening. And it's just the tip of the iceberg right now. But it is worth it. Your life is changing. Trust the process. Accept the growth. Accept the shift. Accept it all. Let it be. Flow with it. Stay in the flow state. Don't attach to it. Don't attach to the hurt. Don't attach to the healing. Don't attach to the growth. Just be. If you feel like you're in a healing stage, don't even attach to the idea of being in a healing stage. If you feel like you're in a growth stage, a success stage, don't even attach to the idea of that. Just flow. Whatever is being brought your way in your elevated state, in this elevated state of consciousness that a lot of us, I would even venture to say all of us have been drawn into, try your best to stay in the flow state. Stay at the 0 point. Don't get too excited. Don't get too blowed. Don't get too sad. Don't get too joy. Just stay poised at the flow state. Stay poised at the 0 point. And your life, trust me, your life is unfolding in ways that you could never even imagine. Exceedingly and abundantly above all that you could ever even imagine. But you gotta stay calm. You gotta stay poised. Stay in an observing mode. Don't absorb. Relax and receive. All right, peace and love, y'all. I'm gonna go. Thank you for listening to my morning message.